Hello, welcome back. I'm going to still talk about book Paimon, and it's almost like a daily meditation at one point. Now that one has, you have the feeling like you have reached a plateau now, or you have crossed the river, or you have went on some stairs up, and there's like the elevation element of the relationship with Paimon and the things that he's able to show you, no? And for me, it was very much about, it has different meaning. I can understand, even like he shows me something, no? And then we did an exercise with the back of the mirror, no? When you, what I like to do is in general observe, and then you almost like concentrate on the things that he shows you, no? He shows you something, and then you try to understand the meaning, or you try to meditate on it, and I understand even the meaning behind why he shows me this exercise at this point, no? Of course, the thematics are repeating, but repetition is a big part of Paimon's work. In the same time, of course, a certain type of elevation, no? And the visions are like short, and I had like three main ones now with him. It was with the girl in the market, and then the one on his throne, and then of course the story that comes throughout the book about King Paimon, the Lord of the Abyss, the King of the Void or the Silence. And we spoke about different thematics now, about Paimon, about the book, about things that Paimon are able to teach one, no? At the same time, I see almost like a temple or foundation. There's the element of waiting for him, no? There's the element of you wait for Paimon to arrive. You wait for him to show you something, unique or special that is like meant or for one, no? So the Paimon is very much able to do this, and there is always a feeling of awe, of surprise, of something exceptional, beautiful, unique, secret. There are always like secret codes or secret numbers or sacred things. There is a lot about color, mostly black, or the geometry, or the cube, no? Or looking behind the mirror too, which is the element of the darkness, the black, no? Not knowing or not understanding something. And the meditative process is, of course, to concentrate on that thing that he shows you as much as possible, and to try to understand or to listen, depending on what he shows you, no? Sometimes are images, sometimes are, but you're going to see them very clearly. It's going to appear, no? If Paimon decides not to work with one, and if it's something that you want, no? Then it's like Paimon is able to show one different things. And the vision that he showed me today, it's interesting because it is almost a continuation for me. It was like, well, I have written the book, it is finished, I have published. Now it's almost like I took my hand out of the work is done. No, there's a certain type of relief or release. No, it's like I released the book. Okay, this is like, now it's done. No. At the same time, today came like a big lesson, or he showed me something that was really very interesting and very unique, no? And another thing what I wanted to say is that it is very individual, it is very unique for each person differently, and the vision he showed me, interestingly, it really appears when you don't expect it, no? So it's almost like you plant the seed, or you plant the intention, and you wait. That's like the feeling. That's the work that one has to do. That's how I do it. And then at an unexpected time, but of course the right time, Paimon will show you, no? And sometimes maybe he will observe you. He takes different positions. Sometimes he's behind, sometimes he's in front, sometimes he shows, I don't see him, he shows me something, no? Or sometimes I saw him on his throne, in his chamber or his room, no? it was like very frontal. I saw him very well. And then through the book, as I've written it, and the inspiration that I got from the visions or from the my own imagination, my own creativity, at the same time, the visions do carry, of course, the essence of Paimon. They speak very much about Paimon, who he represents, or at least who he represents for me, and the lessons or the things, like I take it very seriously and rigorously, and I try to understand the message. I do go into that meditation, and I focus on different, it can be a meditation or a song or music or a symbol or an image or a number or a color, it doesn't matter. Well, in this vision was quite differently, and I would like to talk about it because maybe I will almost like understand better what Paimon tried to show me, or what was the meaning of what he showed me. It's like sometimes he shows you and you don't understand immediately. That happens quite quickly or often with Paimon. He shows you, but I don't get it. It's like I have to concentrate on it. I have to translate a message almost, because it's simply an image. And sometimes it can be confusing, or sometimes it can be intimidating. His energy, because he carries this strong aura. And that's what Paimon says too in the book. Of course, the best way is to read the book, to first enjoy the story about Paimon, and if you want to know more, the way it's almost like I'm trying to translate the book, but the book is the book, So the vision was, it was like a place that I have seen in other visions, or just shortly. It was like a huge, if you imagine like a canyon, but like immense depths. It's like dark there, and then in the same time it has like a mountain on both sides. It's like a nature place, like a real place, like on Earth. Like it has, but it's deep. It is like a canyon. It's like a U form, and on the side is all mountain. It's covered. It's like, and I know it's very deep, or something like that. It looks in the same time very futuristic too. Like if I was to see it in a movie or a scene, it will be something quite dramatic or quite beautiful like that. And there he showed me like a cube. It was like a huge cube that was a cube, like a geometrical form. But not necessarily that was the main part. First it was like very big, and it was like floating in the air. It was like in this canyon. And there were like some drawers or something that was opening and closing. Like the cube was made of different little cubes or different forms, and they will open, but it was all cube form, or rectangular. And I was trying to concentrate on it because I didn't understand what's the meaning, or I didn't understand why he showed me that, or why these things were closing and opening. Like what's the meaning behind this, what I was seeing. It's like it's very much Paimon. It's very much systematic. That's why I know it's like something he showed me. And it almost like he asked me to concentrate a lot on it, to look a lot at it, and it was like I had to try to understand what is the message behind. And I could not really say, I tried to look, and I was most observing it, than being able to understand what that place is, or what's the meaning behind, especially the floating in the air and this cube, quite large. It was almost like something technical. And maybe it speaks about the knowledge, because you have this landscape of this nature mountain. It's quite this desolate valley. There's nothing else there. And then you have this very futuristic, or very almost like a spaceship, or I don't know what it was, or a simple cube, and these things were moving. It's very like definitely futuristic from the image of it. And it had different colors, it's almost like it made a sound. That's why at the same time it was not mechanical, it was almost like it was a certain rhythm, the way the things will open and close, or one will open, one will close, something like that. Like no, they're all closed, and then one will open and another one will open, or maybe the same, no? And at the same time, from there, it's like there was the light, no? You were able to see that it was like quite a lot, enough light. At the same time, it was more like, these mountains a little like darker. And it was just this image, and I was trying to look at it, and I was like, I had a fixed position. My head was like, I can still see it now, like it's almost like in front of me, not far away, like the figure, or how I saw the image in my head. And it's definitely like a cube, and it always shows me this. It's almost like blinks with this thing, no? There's an element of tempo, opening and closing something. And I'm sure it does have, it has a meaning, no? Or a meaning behind the image, or there is a message that Paimon, I took it almost like Paimon says, there is not everything that can be understood or explained through words, no? Maybe he did show me that way, no? Like one black mirror looks like that, or that's the meaning of the black mirror, or almost like an answer to a question that I have asked maybe in another recording, no? But that I didn't understand then. It's like a next step in the journey, or in the message. In the same time, it does speak about that the story can still have a continuation, no? There's like, of course, there could be a continuation, or Paimon part 2, no, of the book or of the story. And if there was something like that, for a movie, or for, or who knows, maybe I will write. It was almost like there are other visions that I had that I didn't necessarily include in the first book, no? And it's almost like now I see it connected to the thing that Paimon is showing me, or showing me today, this with the cube. And because it speaks about the mechanical part, and I was speaking about the future, made me think of that. And there was a vision that I had with a girl. It was like the girl was living in the city now, and she knows the area very well, and it's almost like she knew a place in the desert that carried, or she was able to find, no? Maybe this story appears in another book of mine, but it does happen in the desert. And I think it's in Princess Morgana, if I'm not mistaken, because it was from a vision that I had, and I included it in the book. And it was about this girl who almost like is very adventurous, and she likes to go into the desert and find like hidden things, no? This is all, no, at the same time it's a longer story. Anyway, she's there in the desert, and she's with two of her friends. And she goes by herself one day in the desert, and she finds in a cave, it almost looked like something from the future, or a spaceship, or something that she did never see, no? And then she goes back to her friends, and they all go free together. It's almost like some type of spaceship, or some type of thing from the future. And then it pressed a button, and it blinked, no? It opened, like, and then they got scared or something, and they ran, but they did spend quite a lot of time there. And it is somewhere like covered in the desert. It was a cave, no? It was a little like hidden in a place. And it was like its ship, because it was a ship, no? Or some type of object, or how you say, artifact, or something very old, or ancient, or from the future. I don't know. There was this element, no, that she understood. And I have to look at the story again, because I did write it quite a long time ago. At the same time, the story with the cube, for me, it has even, of course, a deeper meaning. Maybe it's something that I will have to resolve in more steps. No, maybe it's just a beautiful image. I did enjoy it. It was very beautiful to see it, and it's almost like I can always see it now. Almost like it's one of those visions that that's almost stays with one. That's how I feel about this. What he showed me today, especially with the cubes. And at the same time I see like books, or I saw in that place like a huge, very tall library with a lot of books. The thematic of books is connected to Paimon as well. They speak about knowledge and so on. And they were like very old books, and a lot of them like brown, and it was like a wooden, long, very, very big. I just saw it from a distance, but I knew it was very big, or I've seen like a part of it, and it's like filled with books. And it's interesting because, I did see the cube, or I did speak about the elements of the black cube, or the elements of Saturn that one can find in Paimon. And then again, this cube that he shows me, but this one is different. It has colors, it has different shapes, almost reminds me of this, how it's called, the Roblox or Roblox puzzle, or say, the one with the colors, you have to, it's in cube form as well, cubic cube. At the same time, it's different because it's bigger and it has bigger size. It's like in a big, and it has this element of shine. It's black, and you do see some lights. It's like it has like a manual or some type of thing, that's opening and closing. I don't understand the meaning of the opening and closing. I didn't understand what is the cube, or what it does, or what. I just like the contrast between the books and that. Almost like I didn't know what to expect there, or these are like the two main things that I saw. And maybe that's the purpose of the exercise of the message that Paimon has now regarding this, is to say, well, this is something that I can always meditate on, I must say it doesn't have to have always a meaning. There's not always an answer for everything. There's not always, or things are not always as easy as they seem or look, or are, There is, of course, this contrast. Maybe it represents him as well, of being part of the past and being part of the future, having these two elements in him. It's almost, I feel it's like a private image that Paimon shows me, it's like something private. And that's a beautiful thing, because it was always from the beginning very private, and the things he showed me were very private. Like I can, I respect and honor his images very much, but the things he shows me, because I am curious about learning, and I really, really liked the vision that he sent me, I really liked it with the cube. At the same time, in the vision, I saw it very big, but now in the exercise, when I exercise on it, or I even now try to look at it, I'm still trying to find the answer, or I'm still trying to understand the meaning, or what it is now. And he shows me again the exercise with one mirror, and then the many, many, many mirrors. And it's almost, he shows me where there's a one point. If you have many, many mirrors, then one mirror doesn't show anything almost. There's always like a black mirror into that. Or we did the exercise with, if you put a black mirror and a white mirror, That's almost the same contrast with the books, and the one with the cube, which is like books represent something about old and so on, and it's made from wood, and then you have like this object, the geometrical form. And the meaning of the cube, because you have, at the same time, this was almost like not a perfect cube, it was a little taller, and not a cube. It was more elevated or elongated, but cubic, And of course, it makes me think of order, cube or geometry. It's always about equality, or something like for the four sides, the four facade, or the four, or it's connected again to the numbers 4, 8, 16, 32, And so there's always like a main connection of Paimon is through numbers. That's like a main one. He gives the answers through the numbers, or he gives the elevation or the number, or there's always almost like he's able to give any meaning to it now as he wants, and he knows you will understand the message. And at the same time, there is this feeling of waiting, because you never know when, what is going to show, what Paimon is going to show you, what is the next lesson, but it's connected to things you want, It's of course the answer that you were seeking is the right thing, of course. Paimon doesn't, doesn't fool anyone. He's very correct. And as I said, you have to read the book to really understand, like who is Paimon, or what Paimon says, or what he says about himself. He does represent himself in the book. The book is called Paimon, King Paimon, the Lord of the Endless Silence, the Lord of the Abyss, written by Anais Giulia, and it is available on Amazon. And you can order it, and it has 745 pages. It is a large book. It's very, very beautiful. And there's like different elements now, what are in the stories, of course, even other ones. And you have Paimon talking, or you have Paimon like expressing things now, or showing things. There's like part of his teachings is very much connected to the books. And even to people, or villages or places where music appears, or celebration. The element of fire, the element of the stars, of the sky, of the night, the sounds, the music, the sounds that the nature makes, water. You can hear sometimes water fall, water drip. Sometimes you can hear music, He always gives a sign before or after. There's always that's almost like the way Paimon shows his love, And it's like very beautiful. Everything with Paimon shows very beautiful, very interesting, very intriguing. It's always very in awe, That's of course something very beautiful that Paimon is able to show, and to be so direct and so honest. And it's nice because one can, do other things, and at the same time one can meditate, or one is able to enjoy this type of exercises, or there's almost like a philosophical question, or even sometimes mathematical or geometrical. It just shows the high knowledge, or the high elevation of Paimon's knowledge. At the same time, art, is one of the highest forms as well, art in general, or art. So it's like very much about the creative power of Paimon, or the music, or his knowledge. All the thematics are connected to that. And sometimes Paimon likes to give exercises which are like more fun, or more interesting, or more like you always have some type of eye-opening, or how they say, like a aha moment, or something special or exceptional, that Paimon brings, and the way he talks, the way he presents himself, the way he sits on his throne, the way he is king, the way he helps others, the way he travels through the desert and helps others, and is able to love, and there's a lot of beauty to Paimon, and elements that surround him, all the magical elements, the things that Paimon likes, the things that Paimon brings with him, the things Paimon celebrates and wants to give others. They're all like knowledge and beauty and wisdom, and there's a lot that go into it, and at the same time there's always a high honor to Paimon. One always has to be grateful, one always has to be say, well, Paimon is that power, and Paimon is this great teacher, and this great father, and there is an element of ease, solution. When Paimon comes, it's always like the solution is given, the happiness or the joy, or the music or the beauty, When I saw him in his chamber, It was like the first vision or the second that I had. It was the sound of trickling water, the sound of bird or some type of music, and then his voice. No, there's always an ambient with Paimon. There's always an entire almost creation or entire ambient where Paimon is always surrounded by mountains or desert. He's always present somewhere. No. And of course, one can talk a lot about the different elements of Paimon. I do find it very interesting and very appealing and very unique and special. And I'm sure we can discuss in other thematics too about different elements, that Paimon brings, and the different meanings that his story or his name has, and what he represents. No, at the same time, the recordings are a little bit different than the book. The book is the story itself. It is a story, and the recordings are a little bit more about even more like private things or interesting things about Paimon and the elements of the interesting appeal that his figure carry, and his power, his dominion, his strength, his wisdom, his intellect. There is always like a high number or high elevation of Paimon. At the same time, he represents himself as the number 8. He or 9 or 5 or 6. There's always a type of flexibility, of openness that comes with Paimon. He's the one who decides. He's the one who is king, and the book does carry a very beautiful love story, a very beautiful read about stories even from the past. Paimon is connected to the past or stories from other times, and I think it is definitely a very beautiful book that one can read, enjoy, meditate, or simply find a story that it appeals in some way or another. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, all the best. Bye.